Welcome to the 126th episode on the IB Myositis YouTube channel and part 2 of the discussion on liquid thickeners for dysphagia. If you have not viewed part 1, please do so before continuing with this episode. If you have not already subscribed to this channel, please do so, and if you click the bell, you will be notified whenever a new episode has been published. We left our last video saying that thin liquids getting up into the nasal cavity might be your first sign of dysphagia. This is probably caused by blockage at the upper esophageal sphincter, or an indicator that the many muscles used to swallow are out of sync and do not give a continuous flowing action from the mouth to the esophagus. One Facebook follower responded, "Hi everyone. I'm not the least bit worried about liquid or food going up into my nasal passages, uncomfortable and annoying. I'm worried about food going down the wrong way into the trachea, the windpipe, where it finds its way into the lungs, developing into a fatal pneumonia." Yes, William, I think everyone understands that, but what you forgot to mention is that nasal regurgitation can be the first sign usually noticed when swallowing starts to become out of sync, according to some IBMers I've spoken with, and possibly an early indication of dysphagia, according to my speech clinician. IBM is not a cookie-cutter disease where everyone experiences the same events. Nasal regurgitation occurs when food or fluid comes up into the nose due to the nasopharynx not closing properly during swallowing. The difference is the taste of the food bolus, the mixture of chewed food and saliva that comes back up. If the bolus tastes like the food you just swallowed, chances are the nasal regurgitation is a result of a swallowing disorder. So what tools do we have at our disposal to help reduce nasal regurgitation and also the chance of fatal pneumonia? One helpful hint that I received from a speech clinician was to always drink fluids from an elevated position. Those of us IBMers that must drink from a straw because we can't pick up our coffee cup are just asking for nasal regurgitation problems if we have to bend our head down to sip liquid from the straw. Here's an aid that I printed on my 3D printer a couple years ago to elevate my morning cup of coffee. There are a couple of exercises that I do a few times a day to hopefully slow down the progression of swallowing problems. Number 1, I do the Masako maneuver where I stick out my tongue and swallow the saliva in my mouth. Number 2, I place a small ball or rolled up towel under my chin and power down on it. Last but not least, I tend to drink more and more thickened liquids. During my meals, I wash it down with V8 vegetable juice, and it seems to be working well for me at this time. But I'm told by some more experienced IBMers that in my future, I will need to consume some liquids thicker than V8 vegetable juice to wash everything down without the nasal regurgitation and some other choking that occurs. And that's the reason for this video series. Many companies that feature liquid and food thickeners offer us free samples, but after requesting from 5 or 6 sources, only 2 companies responded with samples delivered to my home, Simply Thick and Dysphagia Aid. Because they sent out samples upon request is probably the reason why they are the top 2 recognized companies for supplying thickeners for dysphagia in this video. Their web addresses can be found in the info section of this video. There are 2 types of thickeners for liquids that I will be showing you today. One is in a powdered form, and the second is in a syrup form. Neither the powdered dysphagia aid or the Simply thick in syrup form will continue to thicken over time and can be made in batches to last you the whole day long. Both are free of common allergens, no glycemic count, vegetarian, kosher, and gluten-free. You can use it in almost any liquid drink. Adding cream or sugar to your thickened morning coffee is not a problem, nor would adding a little Irish cream to your evening cup of joe. These liquid thickeners reduce the likelihood that the food will go down the wrong pipe, ending up in your lungs. In comparing the two liquid thickeners that I received as samples, there are differences in the mixing instructions between the two. When using the clear Dysphagia aid powder, we are instructed to pour the powder into a dry container, pour the liquid on top of it, stirring it for about 30 seconds, then waiting about 4 minutes before consuming it. When using the Easy Mix Simply Thick, the thickener is poured into the glass on top of the liquid. After stirring for about 30 seconds, the product is ready to be consumed. In this segment, I'm asking Cindy to show the differences between the thicknesses of the three IDDSI framework levels. Let's talk about package quantities. The sample packs you may receive will be good to test your favorite beverage with 4 ounces of liquid. Both Dysphagia Aid and Simply Thick also supply their products in a multitude of single packs or bulk containers of the product you choose. During the shooting of this video, Cindy found it time-consuming and awkward opening all the little packages of thickener, and we would think that opening multiple packages in case you want to thicken 8 ounces or 12 ounces at a time might be bothersome. Aging caregivers might also find opening the small plastic packages difficult for them. Based on her findings, we ordered a 302-serving pump container from Simply Thick. After a 2-day delivery on this product, Cindy found the pump container much more user-friendly to use in her kitchen. I've heard a few people say they don't think they'd like to drink thickened liquids. From my own experience in trying all levels of these two thickeners, I easily survived the experience without any problems. If you can imagine what it's like swallowing soft serve ice cream, that's what the level 3 thickener is like going down your throat. In other words, don't knock it until you've tried it. You might be surprised at how much it may help your swallowing and how much less nasal regurgitation you'll experience. Remember to subscribe and press the like button and notification bell, and check out the internet link for these two companies that I placed in the info section of this episode.